It gives me immense pleasure to invite our truly inspiring and a very special guest, Abha Chaubal ma'am. Her journey, it's really inspiring and also very diverse. She is a German language educator. She has deep passion for communication across cultures, but that's just the beginning. She's really a terrific photographer. She has, with her truly creative lens, she has captured the world into beautiful photographs. Along with that, she's a fearless solo traveler and she has walked a lot of different paths all alone. Along the way, she has collected a lot of stories, experiences, and insights. To add on to her impressive portfolio, she is also the owner of Weddings by Abha, which is a photography venture, and through art, photography, and precision, she creates beautiful and truly memorable wedding stories. So she's here today with us, and she will share her journey, her stories, insights, and anecdotes. So let's give her a round of applause and welcome her really warmly.
वेलकम आभा।
Thank you. Hi everyone.
तो जब मैं आपकी उम्र का था 11वीं 12वीं में, तो मुझे मेरा पहला कैमरा मैंने खरीदा था। उस वक्त नए कैमरे में मिलते नहीं थे बम्बई में। तो एक यूज्ड कैमरा मुझे मिला था और उसके साथ कैमरा बहुत महंगा था उस वक्त, कुछ 3,500 मुझे याद है, कैनन AE1। और वो कैमरा सीखे, प्रिंटिंग खुद करना पड़ता था। जब अभी आप तो डिजिटली देखते हो, वहां उस वक्त पेपर पे प्रिंटिंग करना करते थे। वो सब चीजें मैंने सीख ली थी और उसके बाद में इतने सारे पैसे लगाए थे, तो मुझे भी कुछ पैसे कमाने थे, क्योंकि मैं भी आपके जैसा ही हूँ। तो मैं भी यही चीजें करता था, वेडिंग फोटोग्राफी। तो उस वेडिंग फोटोग्राफी करते करते मुझे लगता है मैं बहुत कुछ सीख गया, क्योंकि इतने सारे काका मामा ताई सब साथ आते हैं और हर एक को अपनी अपनी तरह से उन्हें अभी तो जमाना डिफरेंट है, अभी के लोग थोड़े इंस्टाग्राम स्टाइल है, उस वक्त के नहीं थे। तो मैं जो फोटोग्राफ्स लेता था, तो जैसे इनके फोटोग्राफ्स है, उनके उतने पॉलिश नहीं थे, लेकिन वो उनके हर एक की अपनी अपनी अदा थी उसमें। तो बहुत मजा आता था और वो मुझे बहुत याद करते हैं, जिनके शादियों में मैंने फोटोग्राफ्स लिए थे। लेकिन उस वक्त मैं आपके जैसा ही छोटा सा ही था, तो लेकिन मुझे वो बहुत प्यार करते थे। तो इस स्टोरी के साथ शुरुआत करते हैं आपके बारे में। सबसे पहले
Childhood, wow. I grew up in a big family with lots of cousins, and I have an older brother. And it was a very normal childhood. I went to school. I didn't always like school for sure, because some teachers are good, some are not that great. But
कहाँ, बम्बई में या
पुणे में?
पुणे में।
हाँ, मेरी पढ़ाई पुणे में हुई और मैं पुणे में स्कूल में, लेकिन I had one good teacher, and her name is Sanjeevani Bokil, and she is a very good Marathi writer. And she played a very big role in helping me understand that languages are beautiful. And उसी वजह से मुझे फिर पता नहीं कब हुआ या फिर कैसे हुआ, but actually it drove me towards languages. I always thought in my future I would like to tell stories. I would like to get into maybe journalism or something connected with media. And in school I also enjoyed other subjects. ऐसे नहीं है कि बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स में मार्क ऐसे ज्यादा नहीं आते थे, मैथ्स साइंस में, लेकिन अच्छा लगता था. But languages seemed much easier. They were friendlier to words, were friendlier to me than numbers always. So somewhere down that line, and then I got a good teacher that really sort of put things in motion. And like good things happen, sometimes even a negative experience can drive you towards something, right? जैसे मैं स्कूल में बहुत स्पोर्ट्स करती थी, तो काफी बार ऐसे होता था कि मैं मेरी छुट्टियां होती थी या फिर बिकॉज ऑफ टूर्नामेंट्स आई यूज्ड टू मिस स्कूल. So my marks were always like average, to be honest, average or maybe above average in languages. So you know, in our school, in my school, there was a rule कि 8वीं कक्षा में आप जर्मन सीख सकते हो, नहीं तो संस्कृत सीख सकते हो. तो क्यों पता नहीं क्यों हमारे स्कूल में ये रूल था, लेकिन जो थोड़े तेज बच्चे थे उनको जर्मन दिया जाता था, और जिनके मार्क्स इतने अच्छे नहीं थे इंग्लिश में या फिर ऐसे, उनको संस्कृत दिया जाता था। तो एक कुछ तो ऐसे टेस्ट दिया था, फिर टेस्ट में अगर अच्छे मार्क्स आए तो जर्मन मिलेगा, नहीं आए तो संस्कृत, ऐसा रूल था। एंड इन दैट, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट प्रोसेस, आई ended up in the Sanskrit class and not in the German class, which now I feel is great because I learned Sanskrit, which is a lovely language. But also I learned German after my school because I was so angry. ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हैं, मुझे नहीं आएगा। स्कूल में बताया था शायद languages is not your thing. Yeah, maybe you should try something else. And that made me so angry. What do you mean it's not my thing? I love them. किसी चीज में अगर आपको ऐसे लग रहा है कि ये मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है और कोई बोले कि नहीं ये मत करो, तो समटाइम्स इवन अ नेगेटिव एक्सपीरियंस कैन एक्चुअली ड्राइव यू इन द राइट डायरेक्शन, राइट? सो आफ्टर स्कूल I started learning German with a vengeance to just show it to my school कि ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हो आप, नहीं आएगा। तो फिर मैं पढ़ने लगी। Is there anything, what do you guys think, is there anything you cannot learn? Yeah, maybe some things are harder, but you can learn anything, right? The only variable there is ki how much effort will you have to put in, but everything in life is learnable, right? So I learned German and I loved it. It just was like a snowball, I started learning and it gathered more motion, and then I was unstoppable just in terms of learning. I just kept learning till there were no more courses left at Max Muller Bhavan. That's where I learned German in Pune.
तो लैंग्वेज पसंद करना, अभी जर्मन लैंग्वेज की ऐसी क्या खूबी है जिससे आपको, जनरली क्या होता है कि अभी संस्कृत पढ़ोगे सीखोगे तो संस्कृत लिटरेचर इतना वास्ट है, पुराना हमारा जो है एवरीथिंग, उसकी वजह से हमें वो बहुत पसंद होते रहता है। वैसे जर्मन लैंग्वेज में आपको क्या लगा कि मतलब ऐसे क्या मिला आपको? मुझे पता नहीं है कुछ भी उसके बारे में, मुझे भी सिखाइए।
बिल्कुल,
शायद मैं भी चालू करूं सीखना।
हाँ, you can learn a language at any age or at any point of time in life. Actually, I started learning in 11th standard. Like the world is suddenly become so big, right? Till 10th standard, your family, your circle, your friends, that's your entire world. And suddenly you enter the world and with like a new perspective, and like the world just opened up to me. And when I started doing German, तो कैसे था that एक जो जब हम भाषा सीखते हैं ना, वो that language becomes like a gateway into an entire new world, an entire new culture. That is why I always say it will never, if you learn a new language, it will never go waste, because you will an entire, imagine कि suddenly और एक planet आपको पता चला है कि ये भी planet है, और आप उस planet में जाके वहाँ के लोगों के, वहाँ का culture, वहाँ के लोग, वहाँ का खाना, ये सब एकदम नजदीक जाके देख के सीख सकते हो। So language is like that. So it was so beautiful for me to start learning German. And also at Max Muller Bhavan, the way you learn is also very unique. स्कूल में हम जब पढ़ाई करते हैं तो हम सिर्फ लिखते हैं या फिर पढ़ते हैं, बोलते भी कम ही है ना। तो मैक्स मुलर भवन में उसके बाद मैंने वहाँ पे 11 साल पढ़ाया भी है, इसीलिए मैं ये बोल सकती हूँ कि मैक्स मुलर में जब हम पढ़ते हैं या फिर कुछ सीखते हैं, बहुत अलग तरीके से सीखते हैं। We use all our senses, not just your eyes and your brain. You use your hands, you use your ears, you use your mouth, you use your tongue to make different sounds. जैसे अभी हर लैंग्वेज में ऐसे साउंड होते हैं ना जो दूसरे लैंग्वेजेस में नहीं होते, जैसे मराठी में ण है या फिर ळ है, वो हिंदी में ळ बोलने को ज्यादा लोगों को आता नहीं है, जैसे वैसे जर्मन में भी है। तो
बताइए ना क्या है।
सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपने कभी देखे ऐसे ओ या फिर यू पे ऐसे 2 डॉट्स देते हैं? हाँ, so they are extra letters in German. The German word for a girl is Mädchen. It's A with an umlaut. I always thought जैसे A को बिंदी लगाई ऐसे लगता है ना, 2 बिंदी लगाई जैसे, तो M-A umlaut D-C-H-E-N. So it's not Mädchen, it's Mädchen. या फिर können. This k, p, k, there are different sounds. And it sounds beautiful to hear someone else speak in that. It's all
हमें भी अच्छा लगता है
ना? And German is full of beautiful words, like just like every other languages. But German में जैसे मराठी में भी है, हम दो words को एक साथ लाके एक नया word बना सकते हैं. संधि, देवालय. Thank you. That's a great example. So in German also you can bring two words together, but not just two. You can bring 3, 4, 5, 6 words also together. And so that's why Germans famously have these long words. Sometimes they have more than 10 letters, but they're made up of smaller words. And it's amazing because then, you know, suddenly, just say, I'll give you an example. In German, gums, है ना? Gums पता है ना आपको? Gums को German में बोलते हैं Zahnfleisch. Zahn is teeth, Fleisch is meat.
Flesh, right? Okay.
Flesh or meat. So teeth meat or teeth flesh is Zahnfleisch. Or there are also very cute words like what are hand gloves called in Marathi?
Hathmose.
Hathmose, right? In German, they are called Handschuhe, hand shoes. So they're like very nice, cute words also. And there are sometimes very beautiful words also. For example, there's a word called Fernweh in German. And it's beautiful, okay? It's made up of two words. The first word is called Fern, which means something that's not here, something that is not familiar, something that's far away. And Weh means ache or pain, right? So what do you think this word means, Fernweh, when you put it together? Something that's far away and something that hurts or the hurt or pain. Can you guess the meaning? क्या हो सकता है इसका meaning? I'll give you a clue, okay? There's another word in German called Heimweh. Heim means home, ghar, and weh is pain. Great guess. Homesickness, right? When you ache to be at home. घर की जब याद आती है, उसको बोलते हैं homesick in English, and in German it's called Heimweh, right? Now try to guess what is Fernweh. So Fern is kind of like the opposite of home, right? It's far away, foreign, everything that's not familiar. And then Weh. It's very interesting, the word. It doesn't exist in English. And as far as I know, it doesn't exist in Marathi as well. Heimweh is homesickness. Yeah, when it hurts so much to be away from home. Fernweh means that it hurts to be at home. Yeah, it's a longing or an ache for anything that is not familiar. ना like जैसे घर से बस बाहर जाने का मन कर रहा है, घर से अब भी निकलने का मन कर रहा है, because everything around me I already know it. I know the people, I know the food, I know the area, I know the place. So I want to be somewhere where I don't know anything. It hurts to be at home. Is Fernweh. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, I mean German is beautiful, full of lovely words, and it was a fully new, it was a new universe.
आपने जर्मनी कभी गए हैं?
हाँ.
वहाँ वक्त बिताया है? तो कैसे वहाँ का अनुभव कैसे रहा?
Yes, so that's an interesting story. तो जैसे मैंने अभी बताया था, मैंने बहुत साल जर्मन की पढ़ाई की मैक्स मिलर भवन में, और फिर उनके ना 7-8 कोर्सेज होते हैं, तो वो मैंने ऐसे विदाउट एनी ब्रेक वन आफ्टर द अदर आई जस्ट फिनिश देम ऑल. और उसके बाद फिर मैंने पूछा अब इसके आगे क्या है, मुझे और पढ़ना है. तो इंस्टीट्यूट में हमारे एक टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग कोर्स होता है, तो वो काफी लंबा होता है, 2.5 साल का होता है, 2-2.5 साल का होता है. तो एंड इट्स वेरी इंटेंसिव. Literally everyone in that course cries at least once because of the stress or something, right? So I did that, and then after that I started teaching there. So it was a long journey of like 11-12 years of learning German first and then teaching. But I had never been to Germany even once, and I was teaching German to people who, I mean, in Max Muller you train people who are going to live there, who are going to be working there. तो वहाँ पे ना लिटरेचर वगैरह नहीं पढ़ाते, ये पढ़ाते कि ब्रेड कैसे खरीदते हैं, दुकान में जाके कैसे बोलते हैं कि मुझे ब्रेड चाहिए, दवाई खरीदनी है, या फिर एवरीडे कॉन्वर्सेशन कैसे कर सकते हो ताकि वहां पे जाके आप अच्छी तरीके से जी पाओगे, खुद को इंटीग्रेट कर पाओगे उस कल्चर में. इस प्रकार की वो प्रिपरेशन होती है. तो आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग पीपल टू गो टू जर्मनी एंड लिव देयर when I myself had not even spent a single minute in that culture. So
और एक
when
चीज
it was my
आपको जो सिखा रहे थे जर्मन यहाँ, वो जर्मन थे या हमारे ही बंदे
नहीं
थे?
हमारे बंदे थे, but very good teachers. I had the good fortune of having amazing teachers who
And
really
they're all
pushed
Indians.
me. They're all Indians. So the first time when I went to Germany, it was very overwhelming. I was so happy to be there. And ये जब हम क्लासरूम में ना, like I said, we don't learn just from books in the classroom. तो काफी बार हम क्लास में ऐसे रोल प्ले करते हैं, चल तू दुकानदार बन, मैं बनूंगी कस्टमर, तो तू मुझे पूछ छुट्टा है क्या, जर्मन में पूछ. तो that's how you learn German in Max Muller, right? So I had done all these simulated dialogues in class, and after a long time I was actually standing in the supermarket myself, and it was my turn to, it was not a simulation anymore. It was my turn to say chutta hai kya. And of course when you land you have only big notes na, chutta वहां जाके जब कुछ खरीदते हो तो ही मिलता है, तब तक छुट्टा नहीं होता. So it was my first day and it was so overwhelming, and it was a Sunday. In Germany everything shuts down on Sunday. There nothing is open, no bakeries, shops, because it's Sunday is a day for family. Everyone gets time to spend, everyone has to spend time with their family. Nothing is open, which means, and I landed on a Sunday, so I had to, only few shops open for like couple of hours, so that if it's an emergency you can still go and buy something. So I landed on a Sunday and I ended up in a bakery which had a long line, and it was all so strange and new. अरे आदमी यानी बहुत सारे लोग थे लाइन में, लेकिन एक लाइन थी, पता है उस लाइन में कौन था? कुत्तों की और एक लाइन थी. ऐसे ही होता है, इतनी तमीज है ना कुत्तों में. यहाँ पे सब लोग खड़े, वहां पे सब कुत्ते ऐसे लाइन में, they are waiting, and it was cold. It was the month of October. It was very cold. Very patiently all the dogs were also waiting. तो इतनी बड़ी लाइन है, and when it was my turn, तो मैंने क्या सीखा था in my class कि bread चाहिए, bakery है. तो my friend who is a German, she told me, go to this bakery and buy yourself a bread roll because it's very famous in Bavaria. It's yummy. So I went and I said, with my very well practiced German, I said, please, would you please give me a bread roll? I want to buy 3 pieces. And then behind that guy, firstly, that guy was not German. The person who was selling me the bread. He was from Turkey. तो उसकी German अलग ही थी, अलग accent, अलग dialect. तो मुझे आधी चीजें समझ में ही नहीं आ रही थी. Even though I was a German teacher, huh? So it's because you learn German, the German that's spoken in the news, on the radio, that I understood. But you don't always understand. जैसे मराठी अगर आ रही है, हाँ अच्छी आती है मुझे मराठी, फिर भी if you go to some rural area, है ना, that local language will be, it is Marathi, but it will be little different, right?
Dialect.
Yeah, it's a different dialect. In fact, not just how they speak, but even words are different, phrases are different. So just because you learn German doesn't mean you will be able to speak everywhere in Germany. It's very different.
तो bread मिला?
तो bread, and then he said, yes, of course you want bread. Everybody here wants bread only. Which bread? And then there were some 60 different types of bread rolls behind us. And I was so panicked because there were impatient people behind my line. They were like, our dogs are waiting. Quickly buy your thing and go now. And I was like, oh my God, which bread? And then it was like all the German had learned, just left. German had left the building. There was nothing here.
मराठी मध्ये
Marathi. And all Marathis were, अरे थांब ना, सांगणार आहे, 2 मिनिटं शब्द आठवत नाही. And finally I just managed to, like, literally I pushed words against their will in a sentence, and I said, just give me anything, whatever you want. And then he was so mad. By then we just put something in a bag, and then he told me, okay, now give me 3 euros 90 cents. And I'm like, but I only have 50 euros. And then he got even mad because itni line thi aur maine itna time lagaya tha. So it was a very panicky situation. So basically what you learn in a class, no matter how good the techniques are, and what you learn in the world outside will always be different. So actually the school is outside the classroom, no? And that was my biggest learning. And of course, like, once I got used to the language that's spoken in that region, it took me a couple of days. It was great. After that, it was smooth.
How
But
did they treat you? How did the Germans treat you?
oh, very well. And I have some extremely nice German friends who are like family now. So, how people make pilgrimages and Devasthananna vagare jata. That way I go to Germany and meet my German family once a year. They're lovely people and very curious about India. And the first thing they ask me, because when I go and speak German there, the first thing they ask me is, do you not live here? And I say, no, I learned German in India. What? India mein? How do you speak like a German? And I say, yeah, because I have great teachers. And then they ask me the same question like you. Oh, so your teachers were German? I said, no, my teachers were also Indians. They're very genuinely surprised to know so many Indians learn German. And so well. A lot of Indians speak great German and they also learn German from other Indians like us. So genuinely, like I have, people have taken me to parties like to show as a form of entertainment. Go speak German to our German friends and tell them how you learned. So it's really genuinely a very nice thing. Imagine if there's a German person who comes here and they speak to us in Marathi and in really good Marathi.
Bhadipa.
Huh?
There is a
Yes,
girl
Paula.
who speaks in Marathi so
Yes,
well.
so
right?
well. I also have a friend, a Swedish friend called Per. He learned Marathi in Sweden from books and he was very curious about our language. So he came here and when I met him, he was in Pune. The tall, 6 feet something blonde guy with long blonde hair. And he speaks better Marathi than most people I know. So when I went around in Pune, like he spoke to rickshawalas and all, it was a real sight because he spoke in such good Marathi. So like really a foreign language, if you can speak a local language, right? It's a weapon. You have an amazing instrument in your bag, and it'll open doors and windows to you that you did not know existed.
Coming back from language, business owner.
Yeah.
Right? You have your own business. And that too, weddings by Abha. So let's talk about it.
German started before photography started for me. And I was learning German on the side. But like I said, right, I always thought I'll get into media or like storytelling of some kind. So in 11th standard, I just walked into the newsroom of Times of India and I said I want to write. I had literally no experience, but this is our last speaker gave us a very important lesson, right? She said, "Pagal hona zaruri hai."
See, the pagal word comes every day, right?
Yes.
So one thing to note is, everyone who comes on this stage is pagal, right?
Yes.
That's the biggest criteria.
100%.
So
and just by pagal, I'll tell you how I interpret it, right? I feel being pagal means being unashamed. Right? So being unashamed is such an important value. Unafraid of things. So I just I was in 11th standard, 17 years old. I didn't know anything. I had not written a single word. But I walked into the office of Times of India and said, I would like to write. I was like, what? They'll say no at the most.
They'll say
what
no.
is the worst that can happen? They'll say no. And then I'll come home. So I went. But they did humor me. They told me to write something small text and give it to us, and then they'll decide if they want to give me a chance or not. And that worked out. So I wrote in a small supplement of Times of India for a while, and I was writing in English. And I always thought, okay, maybe this is nice. Maybe I'll continue writing. And then one day I came home, and we have a Maushi at home. She can read Marathi, but she can't read English. And I thought, oh, I'll show her what I've written. And then I realized, you know what? That's this being in just one language is so restrictive. Only people who can speak and read that language will understand what I've written. And that thought kind of triggered some thought process in my mind. It sort of pushed me to explore other media which did not have words. And that's why I came to photography. It was the easiest to learn also. And then I took a camera in my hand and somehow it was really easy for me to learn photography. So there are different types of intelligence, right? There's linguistic intelligence, there's visual intelligence, spatial intelligence. Every one of us is blessed with a combination of these intelligences. So I did not know at that time that I had some kind of a visual, inclination. But it worked out. and then I started doing photography, and I was learning in a diploma course. But again, I did not learn much inside the classroom, and I got bored very quickly. I used to be the first person in the first row, that annoying student who had too many questions. Again, I was very unashamed to ask them. And at one point, my professor at that time said, "You know what, you have too many questions. You just come along with me on my shoots. I can't answer them all in the class. You just come along." And then I started assisting him, learned a lot on the job. And then getting to the wedding part was a journey, because you have to, like, when you start, it's just a medium, right? Photography or the camera is just one way of telling a story. What kind of stories interest you the most? Like, for some people, taking pictures of other humans feels like a punishment. They want to take pictures of animals, nature. ऐसे लोग होते हैं ना जिनको ज्यादा बोलने की आदत नहीं होती. They don't like human interaction a lot. They really thrive in the nature with animals. So I have seen a lot of my friends doing, landscape or wildlife photography who don't have this human interaction thing. Whereas I was drawn to human interaction. I thrived on that. And it drove me towards people, portraits. And at that time, like, I used to upload photos that I've taken. And somehow one day, one person asked me, "Will you shoot my wedding?" Just like you, I wasn't so young, you know. I was like, okay, why not? I mean, I don't have much to lose. So I did that, and people really seemed to like what I was doing. And then it sort of organically grew into a business. You know, I started doing it more regularly. Then at one point I realized that one person is not enough. So I had more people in my team, and that team just kept growing. And then people said, "Oh, you're doing photos, then also do video for us." Then I started doing video as well. So my team grew, and like both German and photography were sort of parallel, you know. Yeah, because weddings have a season in India. It's usually between November to Feb. So 4-5 months of very intense work. But the rest of the year was open for me, right?
You could do that in Germany, rest of the year.
Yeah,
Weddings
so the
in
rest of
Germany.
the year.
That's what you do.
No, but like after doing 5 months of weddings, my brain switches off. I need to do something else with my life. So that's why German and teaching German was like my oasis. It was like a place where I didn't have to think about money, because I already earned my money in those 4-5 months. The rest of the year is to travel, to teach German, and then, you know, don't have to worry about.
Any interesting experiences in the weddings?
Yes, so many.
Maybe one.
Most interesting is when, because we have so many girls here, I want to tell you one thing is that, you know, a lot of people ask me, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Because it takes so much physical, fitness to be able to do that work. Have you ever tried to pick up a camera? There's a camera behind you also. It's heavy, it's not light.
यहाँ भी है.
Yeah, see, it's heavy, it's not light. And I have 2 cameras like that. I have a harness, and there are 2 cameras, plus more in the bag, and there are heavy stands and all of that. And there are times when I have to be on my feet for 18 hours without a break. So it does take a lot of physical fitness. And, people are not used to seeing powerful women is one thing I've realized, because so many times at weddings I've experienced, people come up to me and ask me, "Who's the boss? We want to talk to them." यानी किसके साथ बोलना है, मेरे बच्ची की शादी. And they find it really surprising to know कि I am the boss. You will not believe me. एक बार एक आदमी ने मुझे पूछा था, "आपका मालिक कौन है?" I told him, "सबका मालिक एक है."
Good one.
But it's not, they're not mean, okay? It's not, they don't do it out of spite. People are just not used to seeing women in power, right? So we have to make sure they get used to that, because women and men are not different, right? Power is power. Doesn't matter who is using it.
So through weddings, now solo traveling, right? That was your next thing. So tell us.
It was all sort of together. Yeah,
okay.
like organic, just like everything else in my life. So because
weddings, where all have you been, and where have you traveled? Any stories related to that?
Correct. So why I started doing travel on my own was mainly because German, I really wanted to go to Germany. I told you, right? I was teaching German, but I had not been to Germany. तो मैंने बहुत ट्राई किया, स्कॉलरशिप्स के लिए अप्लाई किया, बहुत ट्राई किया, बट नथिंग वाज पैनिंग आउट. तो मैंने सोचा कि और क्या तरीके हैं जिससे मैं कम पैसों में जर्मनी में जाके वहां पे ज्यादा दिनों के लिए रह सकती हूँ। तो उसमें मुझे वर्क एक्सचेंज नाम की चीज मिली ऑन ऑन इंटरनेट एंड इट्स अमेजिंग रियली। ओके, तो उसका क्या है कंसेप्ट कि आप किसी भी देश में, इंडिया में भी है, कहीं भी जा सकते हो और कोई भी काम करके वहां पे रह सकते हो, विच मीन्स यू गेट फूड एंड स्टे इन एक्सचेंज फॉर सम वर्क दैट यू डू, है ना। तो अभी वहां पे आपको पैसा नहीं खर्च करना पड़ रहा है। So that is such an amazing opportunity, right? And when I say work, it can be any kind of work. It can be work in a home. I've done all kinds of things. I've taken care of children. I've cleaned. I have cooked. I have done dishes. I have, made gutters. I have I've worked on construction sites. नहीं तो खेतों में भी काम होता है, कांदे उचलून या पोती उचला, all kinds of work. But in exchange for that work, I get to stay in that country for a longer time. जैसे अभी हम खुद के पैसों पे अगर जा रहे हैं ना जर्मनी या फिर बाहर, तो बहुत महंगा होता है. Every day you have to spend so much money just to stay somewhere. फिर खाना वाना और करेंसी का भी डिफरेंस, तो it's really expensive. So even if you save money and go, you can't stay there for a very long time without it being extremely expensive. So this work exchange is such an amazing opportunity and it's open for everyone. You can also do it. You can start in India, and I discovered that. And with that, I started traveling in Germany. And that again, it helped my language so much because I was living with farmers, with like construction workers, with all kinds of, and there are other people from other parts of the world also who come and volunteer.
Language also improves, right?
Language improves, not just German, my English also improved. Also, there's so much pleasure in working alongside people. हम सब कभी एक साथ किसी चीज पे काम करते हैं, फिर भूख लगती है, फिर एक साथ खाना खाते हैं, मिल के खाना बनाते हैं. कोई किसी पेरू से है, उसने उसकी पेरुवियन डिश बनाई, कोई किसी और कंट्री से है, उसने कुछ बनाया. So it literally brings the world together. You get to see so many people and so many different things, right? So that drove me towards traveling solo, and I primarily started in Germany because it was my language. But also weddings helped me, like because my business grew and it has grown in an organic way in such a way that I'm not shooting celebrity weddings because they're too big and I don't find them that interesting. But I shoot smaller weddings, more intimate, but weddings that still have a good budget. So they are like, it's a sweet spot for me. And usually there are people who think a lot about how to make it meaningful, how to keep it sustainable, how to make it eco-friendly. All of these things are also like, there are people who are, yes, who have money, but who also have, sensibility and sensitivity towards things. So actually those weddings are the kind of weddings that I primarily shoot now, and it's great because then I don't get frustrated. Weddings can be really frustrating. They bring out the worst out of people.
Yeah. We've seen in the movies.
Yes, and also regression. People who are otherwise very progressive, suddenly कुछ वो ritual से क्या होता है पता नहीं, दिमाग खराब हो जाता है लोगों का. They become regressive suddenly. इतनी regressive traditions बोलते नहीं, ये करना ही पड़ेगा. And they are otherwise, great people, scientists, open-minded. But weddings can do that because there's a lot of social pressure. And but weddings also helped me because I started getting weddings outside of India or in different parts of India, not just in Maharashtra. So that also sort of got me out of my home. The German weddings, travel, it sort of all came together for me. It still is. I'm still doing all three of them. So, yeah.
Good. So with that question, we'll take questions from the audience.
Hi ma'am, myself Chaya. Like along this whole journey, didn't your parents force you to be a doctor, engineer, or work at a 9-to-5 job? How was their support for you?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And in fact, my parents are in the audience today. I'm very grateful to them because they never asked me to be a doctor or an engineer. And like I said, I got a few really good teachers as well. So that support is important. And I got it in abundance from my home. But I also know, because I have my own students now, I know that it's not something that everyone has from home always. but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. Okay, यानी हमारा वो भी एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होता है कि घर वालों को भी हमें कन्विंस करना पड़ता है कभी कभी कि ये चीज मेरे लिए क्यों अच्छी है. And they just want to, honestly, I feel all parents just want to make sure that you're okay, right? That you will you can sustain yourself, you can take care of yourself, you'll be happy. So if you can find ways to convince them of that, I don't think they will resist all that much.
Ma'am, I am Pratiksha. So when you visited or stayed in Germany, what difference you saw between India and Germany, like in culture, education, lifestyle?
Yes, that's a very good question. Thank you. There are a lot of differences, but interestingly, a lot of similarities as well. Difference, I would say the main difference is that the family structure is very different from us. You know, children move out of their parents' homes very early, become independent very early, and the education system is also very different. For example, children don't have to wear uniforms in school. It's different, but I wouldn't judge it as good or bad. It just is different, right? Food is different. For example, we eat warm food in all our meals, but in Germany they eat cold meals, like cold breakfasts, cold meats, bread, butter, you know, not warm. One meal in the day is warm, but we are not used to that. So there are a lot of things that are different, but so many things that are similar. For example, older people here and there get lonely in their later days, you know. Everybody wants human connection. Everyone wants to belong to somewhere, someone. And festivals, families come together for festivals, just like in India. You know, it's nice when people find time to eat the meals together, just like in India. So there are a lot of things that are in common, but you know, the things that are in common are the bigger things, you know, bigger values like kindness and hope and all these things. The big things are the same, but the outer layers, right? Like, you know, what kind of clothes we wear and what time in the day you wake up and what time you go to work. Those rules and customs, like those are the upper layers, I would say, of our existence. Those are different.
माय नेम इज़ मानती. मेरा आपसे क्वेश्चन है कि आपको फोटोग्राफी करना, जर्मन सीखना और घूमना, ये सब अपने लाइफ में आपने कैसे मैनेज किया?
या भारती, आप भी तो कितना सारा मैनेज करती हो ना. स्कूल में पढ़ाई करती हो, मे बी यूल हैव अदर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज एट होम. सब लोग करते हैं. ऑनेस्टली आई फील कि अगर आपको जो पसंद है वो चीजें सीख रहे हो या फिर वो काम कर रहे हो जो आपको बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है, तो ऐसे नहीं लगता कि आप कुछ कर रहे हो. इट फील्स लाइक अरे दिस मेक्स सेंस, इट इज फन, तो लेट मी डू इट.
Hi ma'am, myself Chandana. I want to ask that you are a solo traveler. What safety measures you took to travel, and is anyone helped you in traveling?
Yes, very important question for girls. Yes, you have to definitely be more careful as a woman traveler, as a girl, especially when you go alone. But there are maybe only a few things that are different, right? Like, yes, if you're traveling at night, you have to make sure that you know, you've taken your safety measures. You're in public places. You're not alone in some, you know, isolated area or whatever. So when I plan my travel, I make sure that doesn't happen. The timings of the day, I make sure I'm in bigger cities when I travel. And if I'm going to smaller places, I make sure it's during the day. Also, I carry a pepper spray in my bag. And yes, and if whenever I've needed help, yeah, during travels when I'm alone, because that is a very human thing, guys. Everyone needs help. Yeah, men need help, women need help. There's nothing different or new about it. I have just asked for it and I have always gotten it, right? अगर आपके पास किसी ने help मांगी तो you will help, right? Because it's so human to help. Nobody will say I will not help you. So no matter where you go in the world, you will always get help if you ask for it. You have to be nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course.
I'm Rishika. Ma'am, you said you like both taking photography and teaching German, but which do you enjoy more, ma'am?
If teaching paid well, I would not do anything else in the world. It doesn't pay a lot, so I have to make sure that I also earn. So I also do weddings and photography, and so it's hard to say. Honestly, I enjoy both, but I love teaching and I love German. Maybe slightly more than photography.
Hello, ma'am. I am Hina. I want to ask that, as you told us that you are average student, but from average student to a German teacher, how is your journey?
So I feel score in school, when I said I had an average score in the school, it truly was like it was nothing special. I never came first or something. But it's also because the way the exams are designed, it depends on like it. I think it focuses too much on mugging things up, and and any kind of individuality or individual expression. It doesn't always get motivated or encouraged in school, right? But as soon as you leave school, like I said, most of my learning has happened outside of this classroom, right? I realized that it doesn't matter what score I had in school. Like, I will give you an example. I run the business now, right? Do you think even once people have asked me how much did I score in 12th standard? Nobody cares. I am good at my job. Yeah, even my German, yeah. None of my students have even once asked me how much did I score in German. It really does. It's just a number. It doesn't reflect your capacity or how good you are at something. The only way you will find out how good you are at something is when you try it, right? And then you will keep getting feedback from your work. Are you good? And then you just keep getting better. You try to hone your skills, keep getting better at whatever it is you're doing. It doesn't matter how much you scored, honestly. So that scale of average or not, it's not important. Doesn't matter how much you score in school right now. Not saying don't study, okay? Because learning is amazing. You can never stop learning. But don't attach too much of your self-worth or importance to the score that you get in school or otherwise.
My name is Likita. So you travel solo. So can you please share your best experience or your favorite experience while traveling?
I'll tell you a small story, okay? When I was in Munich in Germany, I was doing a course over there. I was just walking on the streets one day. And you know how there are artists in Europe, they sing on the streets, like they'll play the guitar or whatever. There was a guy who was singing on the streets, and he had two dogs who were like, now in Germany, they were sitting very quietly, waiting for him to finish his performance. So he was singing, and what was he singing? He was singing my favorite songs because I love the Beatles. It's an old band, and they have amazing songs. So he was singing Beatles, and I just stopped by. I was listening to him sing, and I knew every song by heart. So I was also sort of singing along. And then he saw that I was singing along. So he just sort of, did this to me. He also come, you sing with me. And, now that I am a little pagal, so I did that. I went on the other side. And by that time, there were more people gathered around who were listening. And then we both started singing. And he had a small hat where people were putting money. And then because we were both singing and then everybody sort of gathered, he started getting more money. So he said, oh, we should sing more. And then we sang a couple of more songs. And then by that time, there was a bigger crowd there and more money was falling in the hat. So it was such a nice experience. Like, I don't think I would have done that if I were afraid or, if I thought, oh my God, what will people think? Why am I like, what if my, suddenly some relative will know, like, oh my God, you're singing on the streets for money now. Like that whole, it doesn't matter what others think. You just do it. It was so much fun. And then that guy, we exchanged our contact details. I realized, when I spoke to him, I realized he's not from Germany. He was from Spain. It's another country I've been to. So when I went to Spain the next time, I just messaged him saying, hey, I'm in Spain. I don't know where you are. Are you here? I'm in Spain. I'm in Madrid. He said, oh my God, I'm also in Madrid. So then this guy that I met was singing on the street and we just spent maybe 10 minutes together. He came to pick me up on the airport. He showed me his city because he's from Madrid. He showed me his city and he showed me the parts that you would not see as a tourist, Took me to the smaller places and, walked around along with me for an entire day. He brought me a meal that he had made at home. We sang more Beatles songs together in Spain.
Did you earn more money?
This time without a hat, so we didn't earn that much money. But my point is when you go alone, so I don't know if I would have done this if I were with my parents or if I had another person with me. Because when you go with someone, you already are in some kind of an identity, right? Because okay, my friend will think, oh my God, who is this person? Why is she behaving like this? But when you're alone, nobody cares. Do you think people who put money in that hat on that day will meet me ever again? They don't know who I am, so they don't care. So you can do anything you want. It's like even if you make a complete fool of yourself, nobody cares. You don't have that freedom when you're with someone, because then somebody cares, right? So that's the beauty of being totally by yourself.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Saujanya. My question to you is, like, if you want to learn Sanskrit and other languages, we have special courses like BA and all. Like, if you want to learn German and other foreign languages, do you have such special courses in India?
Yes, you can do BA in German, MA in German as well. Or you can also do, like, if you want to learn the language and not just the spoken, daily communication, but like the literature, history, linguistics. Like, if you really want to get into it, you do MA in German, right? And you can do it in many different universities in India. But if you want to do, like, if you want to not get into the literature, but you want to learn how to speak on daily basis to integrate yourself there, if you just want to learn that, then you can do courses at a foreign language school like Max Muller Bhavan in India. If you want to learn any other foreign languages, they will have their individual institutes as well. And now, since the pandemic, you have a lot more options because there are online schools. I right now primarily teach German online. I no longer work for Max Muller, but I teach online and work with German organizations who need an online trainer. So yeah, you can learn. If you decide to learn the language, you can learn it really even sitting at home. But if you really want to study it, then there are specialized courses for that as well.
One more question.
Yes.
I heard that if you want to go to Germany, then it's mandatory that we should know German. Is it true?
It's not mandatory. You can go without German language skills as well. If you go, like, you can go as a tourist, you don't really need to know German for that. You can get by with English. Most Germans learn English in school. But if you really want to, like, immerse yourself in the culture and, like, get to, like, speaking and actually converse, then it's always better to know the local language. But it's a good to have, not a must have.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Srivalli. I believe each photo has a story behind it. Can you just share your experience of the story behind your favorite shot?
I don't have one to show right now, but yeah, there are, like, you're absolutely right. Each photo has so much to say. Like, there's a saying that one photo can speak 1,000 words. So if you like any particular picture that they showed right now, you can come to me later and ask me about the story. I'll tell you.